behold the beauty of Yahweh, to inquire in His tabernacle. One thing have I desired of Yahweh, and that will I seek after. I have fainted unless I had believed to see the love of Yahweh in the land of the living, the God of Yahweh. Wait on Yahweh. Be of courage, and He shall strengthen thy heart. Wait, I say, on Yahweh. One thing have I desired of Yahweh, and that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of Yahweh all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of Yahweh, to inquire in His tabernacle. One thing have I desired of Yahweh, and that will I seek.
Man and been spirit to try to come against us, Abba Yahweh. And he lift up his voice, Abba Yahweh. And you'll let him go to the house today. Every folk on the earth to erect this day, Abba Yahweh. Give your people a rejoicing, Abba Yahweh. One more day, Abba Yahweh, that you breathe the breath of life in us, Abba Yahweh. That we can give your precious name the praise, Abba Yahweh. Let your lesson strengthen them all. Let your lesson, Abba Yahweh. Let them know of the surety, Abba Yahweh, that they don't have to worry, Abba Yahweh. That everything will be all right, Abba Yahweh. Even that one, Abba Yahweh. They have so many battles, Abba Yahweh. Even that one that shed so many tears, Abba Yahweh. They seem like he's an outcast, Abba Yahweh. Let him know today that everything is all right. Let him know you're the one, Abba Yahweh. That you'll give him shalom in his many tears, Abba Yahweh. Let him know every battle that he goes through, Abba Yahweh. That you're the mighty warrior, Abba Yahweh. And you never lost one, Abba Yahweh. Let him know just to keep on pressing, Abba Yahweh. Because, Abba Yahweh, he's up under your wing, Abba Yahweh. Oh, we rebuke you today, Abba Yahweh. Oh, we told you, Abba Yahweh, on this beautiful day, Abba Yahweh. Oh, we told you, Abba Yahweh, that you chose us, Abba Yahweh. in, Abba Yahweh. Oh, Abba Yahweh, you seen us in your land, Abba Yahweh. That you will bring us unto you and make us that special, that segula people unto you, Abba Yahweh. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Torah, Torah. For YHWHSHUA, HABITATION. And that precious dome that was shed for YisraYah'ale. Let us stand to our feet. Blow the trumpet in the mouth of Yahweh and YHWHSHUA, HABITATION. Precious Abba Yahweh, the high Shemayim, Kadosh to your mighty name, your Melkut to come, your will be done, in earth, Abba Yahweh, and in the high Shemayim. Give us this day our daily lesson, and forgive us our debt, Abba Yahweh, and we forgive our debtors. For yours is the Melkut, the power, and the honor, Abba Yahweh. Forever, Abba Yahweh. So be it, Abba Yahweh. May it be fulfilled in the precious and mighty name of YHWHSHUA, HABITATION. Baruch like this day, Abba Yahweh. And he feed us this lesson, this bread of life, Abba Yahweh. This fountain, this water, Abba Yahweh. That we'll never thirst, Abba Yahweh. Find a very spirit to try to come against us, Abba Yahweh. And he feeds your nation in the Eric today, Abba Yahweh. Your people, Abba Yahweh. To strengthen them to stay in the straight and narrow way. In the presence of the name of YHWHSHUA, HABITATION, I pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Blessed be the Lamb of YisraYah'ale. Hallelujah.
For Kodesh is your name, Yahweh. For there is none like you, Abba Yah. Yes. For we have gathered into your beds on this beautiful Shabbat. We may bring an offering of praise unto you, Yahweh. So as we dance, as we sing, as we lift our hands to you, Abba Yahweh, we want to please you above all things. Come on, YisraYah'ale. Well, there's nothing we can do without YHWHSHUA.
There is nothing I can do without YHWHSHUA on my side. There is nothing I can do.
Nothing we can do.
YHWHSHUA on my side. Nothing I can do without YHWHSHUA on my side. YHWHSHUA. There is nothing I can
Yahshua on my side. Torah, YHWHSHUA. Oh, there's nothing, there's nothing I can do. Without Yahshua on my side. Nothing I can do without Yahshua on my side. Hallelujah! 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 Oh, hallelujah! Hallelujah! Oh, hallelujah! Oh, hallelujah! 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 Oh, hallelujah! Yahshua, he's on our side. Hallelujah. Let us walk in him, YisraYah'ale. Oh, don't you want to walk in all Yahweh's way, YisraYah'ale? There's only one way. And we must live in him. So let Yahweh show us his way. Show us your way.
I want to say greetings unto the YisraYah'ale. It's one thing beautiful about children, that they have an expression that they are not bashful or ashamed. We that call ourselves the adultish one, we are a corrupt being. We do things in simplicity and delight. They don't know what they're delighting, but they do it. We say we know Yah. We don't even delight in Him. Nothing is wrong with this nation. There's a diabolical scheme from hell that corrupts us. It's not me. It comes from here. From that serpent seed doctrine. I'm going to teach today. In the early days of my, if I may say, my conversion, I've always been an studious student. I would hear things, and I never tried to comment out of ignorance. I was always very cerebral, careful. I watched things, I looked. But to speak out of place without any knowledge of a matter, I didn't do that. But I knew that once you open up that window for me to see inside, you better be ready the next time. And that was a fact. With limited resources back then. Now I have the ability to search the annals of etymology, word origin, how it evolved, the development of a word, the purpose, and what was the roots meaning of the words. You will see words in the Arabic or the Hebraic, also in the Greek, that the prefix of the word implies what the identity of the word is trying to convey. Yet it would tell you that just that prefix in the beginning, the root origin or the meaning of this word is different than what we see with the combination of the prefix and the suffix. And so the combination of them will give you not something that is hybrids. It will give you the authenticity, what should be conveyed and how it should be conveyed. And so we all have the ability to assess those things.
Yes.
I must say that we're quite lazy though.
Yes.
All of us,
Yes.
we're quite lazy. Because there's really no love for Yah. I'm going to teach. I didn't finish the teaching. On last Shabbat I had 30 verses that gave a great implication. One day in the will of Yah, His pleasure, I will go back to that. But I want to press on. There is 1,001 things that I must do. There are things that, as one prepares for the bridegroom, she began to hasten in time to make sure that each small detail is carefully attended to. The napkins fall right. And from that, it evolves or it develops this kind of stressfulness. A panic comes over her. We is that way. We are the woman of YHWH HaMashiach that is coming to recapture from every kind of foul, dark corruption there is. And he's anxious. He's ready. And he is not delaying 1 second. Not at all. Yet we have learned to pontificate quite well. Because we all think we're better than what His Word says. My actions or my activities are supreme. So I do what is right in my own eyes. Fool. You'll bring the closed capture in for me. I tell them to, I don't like the distance of the camera. I want them to. So we think because we have the ability to do our own thing, we don't realize the foolishness of our ways, the corruption of me. But you blame everyone because you're a coward. And could it be your birthright? I want to talk and teach today on the sons of the serpent. How you will know them. There is a Zerah that was birthed by the serpent. There was a son of the serpent of Nachash, and he birthed, as they would say, the serpent seed doctrine. You were ignorant.
Yes.
I was ignorant. They were ignorant. But it is a serpent seed doctrine. You see, they missed the most prominent thing of what I just said. I said doctrine. There's a concept, a teaching. It did not come by some kind of interaction through the birth chambers of Hashatan and Habal. It didn't come that way. And our own minds teach us a doctrine that is filled with lies and justification and corruption.
Yes.
That's what our own minds do. I want to begin here, and there's a volume of knowledge and information that I will share with us.
Hallelujah.
In Torah and out of the book. I want to begin here, listen. In the book of Enoch, I want you to just hear. And I'll tell you precisely where to read from. You're doing that to bewitch us, that you can give us something that is diametrically opposite to what you just said. Well, you will know whether I'm a liar or not, man. You can tell in the continuity of words and speech that it will arrive to the factor of the son of the serpent. And there's a doctrine of the son of the serpent. And it produces illegitimate. The mental retardation and development of Yah's people. And that's a fact. I want to read what Hanuk says as he deals with the misdeeds and the corruption of those that were called the Nephilim, or those that have fallen. You notice what they have fallen. They're known as the fallen angels, and I still constitute them as that. Those that are like YHWHSHUA and YHWHSHUA, announce them as the Melechim, the Melach of Yah. Those that carry out the business. The mandate of Yah with great perseverance. That's a great love. That's why he calls his true messengers, known as a Melech. They receive the message from the heavens above, as Torah and repetition in Torah speaks to their mind. And that's how they draw to a conclusion. They don't hear a voice. They do not hear a voice. But they hear Torah speaking to them.
Hallelujah. So
this great Nabi of Yah, he talks about one by the name of Kasedeh. Student I am, I searched the annals of research. Who is this one? How did this name evolve? And as I've searched the internet, and everything that is associated with this name, and there are thousands of pages. It deals with the deep darkness. I cannot find a definition. But everything that deals with Kasedeh, it deals with some of the most violent, demonic kinds of things. Everything in exercise, the songs, even to dancing. We think we know, but we don't know. And so as I searched, I could find no other formidable information but what's out of the book. And so that implies that I must define his attributes in order to see him in the book. That's the only way you want to see him. You must define the attributes, the personality, what he does, what he delights in order to understand who he is, who he is. So we'll read this in the volume of the book of Hanuk. He talks about this fifth Melech. that should be the favor of Yah, this angel that has fallen, Cassidy had fallen. He says, and the fifth, or the fifth one's name, it is Cassideya. This is what he does. He is the one that reveals to the children of the people the various flagellation, the very types of interactions and beatings and subduing and taking one or taking advantage. You hear about what they call satanic encounters with men and women and slaves and all of that. That is very prominent whether you buy it or not. It's just a fact.
Yes.
And you will be amazed how widespread it is. So he taught them flagellations, the scourging, the beating like they did Yeshua. He did not just teach them some forms, but he says of all evil. He taught them how to subdue with the power of just one's speech. How to subdue one with all forms of evil, this doctrine that they believe, they buy it, they're driven by it, they're drawn to it. And then he taught them the flagellation of the nephesh, the being, one's person. And also he opened up the gates unto whom the Shaddam, the demons and forces of evil. And there is a playground of death that we engage with every day. We all must battle against the thugs on that playground. And this is the playground because we play. We laugh for me. We do everything for me. We sin. It originates from here. And we carry it out.
Hallelujah.
I don't care what a man's battle or a daughter's battles are. You don't perform it. You give no credence to it. And that's a fact.
Hallelujah.
He taught them the smashing of the embryo in the womb so that they may be crushed. He is the president of this nation because it is one that smashes the embryo in the womb of the woman. It is known as abortion. And his children, the sons of the serpents, they defend that royally. This foul thing, Satan, this dirty Jezebel-looking bull dagger, motive or intention, just like everyone that tried to destroy the seed of YisraYah'ale and YHWHSHUA. Herod said, kill them all. 2 and above, you can't miss. Pharaoh said, kill them all. You can't miss. And so, even before they come out of the womb, the embryo is smashed, crushed. And the most polished, as they will call themselves, intelligent nations, they kill babies. Not even like you kill a fly. They will have more pity on a nasty, dirty old dog with fleas and that's rotten. But they will crush the embryo. They will crush that life form within a woman. He says, and not only that, but he taught them the flagellation of the nephesh. He also taught them, as I referenced to last week, the bites or the noshak. The noshak is to plus one with a usury fee. Can I give an example? That our sins, they surmount so fast that we want to get free and we can't get free. You want to do right and you can't do right. Because sin requires a usury, one that is greater and what can pay. There's a usury. The sin. And that's the flagellation of sin. It beats you, it tears you down, it destroys you. Here.
Yes.
Not because someone said something to you. It's because you carry out things.
Yes.
We do things that we know that are reprehensible to Yah. We have no courage for Him. Because we don't give a damn. We don't love Him.
Yes.
It is the truth, amen.
Yeah.
I'm going to break this down.
Yes.
He taught them the flagellation of snake bites, nachash, divination, demology. Where do we think that we speak with a violent volume of words? How we despise, how we lie, how we bring accusations without any accreditation, how we do things that are so damnable, devilish, and evil. It's violent. Yet we'll esteem the most violent, evil one of hell. He's nice, he's not nice. She's sweet, she's a dirty devil. She's a Jezebel. You will embrace one like that with the fervor of strength, and yet your own Achim and the daughters of Zion. I don't embrace people. Embrace His house.
Bless you.
Yes.
He taught them how that this nachash, the words, how it subdue our minds and we give an alternative nature to it. We don't know how to be kind.
Yes.
We don't know how to be loving.
True.
What's this little child as the boys came over? There was a deep resentment of them doing that. And she didn't want them there because we were singing and dancing. And so she leaned against me and began to weep. What is that? I have no biological attachment to her. And I said, she did that. I said, Yah leave no grandbabies on this earth, no son, no daughter, but I'll leave you in remembrance of truth.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yes.
And I'm not disappointed.
Yeah.
Well, why could and how could she do that? Why were they so confident with me? Because they know there's a sense of protection Yah puts in all children.
Yes.
And she understood. And when children understand kindness, I don't give a damn who you are. They will embrace you and want to be around you.
Yes.
You're not that way, they don't want to be around you.
True.
That's right, hallelujah.
Yeah.
Not only did this one teach them the tongues of the serpent, this nachash, this one that whisper, that's what nachash is. You don't whisper, do you? You don't. There are those that tell you can't even. They say that's, I understand things. Foolish.
Yeah.
They know better than to say it around me. It is this quietness of subduing, cunning, crafty. Was not Hashatan crafty and cunning?
Yes.
That's what we do. So we, I say things with a bold enterprise.
Yes.
I'm not afraid to say it.
True.
But I'm not going to accuse not one brother or sister
Yes.
with any kind of ought, nothing,
True.
without evidence of their visage and what I see.
Yes.
And that's a fact.
True. Yeah.
So he taught them this deception. And Nachash is I don't want to say principle. It is an activity that is learned, like divination, divination. It is learned. It is learned through experience. And that's how we have learned things through experience. We experience the same corruption and lies over and over, and we think it's all right. But it's not all right, nation. The son of the serpent. It taught them all about sunstrokes, all of that matter. It says there's a comma there. It talks about what? The son of the serpent, comma, whose Hashem, whose name is Dawid. Well, when I discover things, I go to any kind of informative information to see what I can find. When I went to Dawid, that's why we have to, as a nation, we are some silly jackasses of people. Yes. We get offended. True. We must give our children names that originate Torah. Yes. Not some damn hybrid, some made up name. So when I go to the internet, there's nothing that is on that web. Nothing that is on there. So when I began to look at, to discover this word, its form of expression, I was not amazed, but it was beyond overwhelming. Everything that is the most demonic, violent, and dancing, food. That's why I tell us, ignorant heathens what we are. Yes. How is it that a man come up with a design for food and everyone is overtaken by it? I looked at those sandwiches yesterday. Don't be ashamed, my son. Your father, his was thicker. He tried to play it off. A man that works that hard, you think that I would even incriminate him about his sandwich? No, I like to see you eat two of them. My young friend, I said, boy, you can build a sandwich. So I'm talking to the young daughters. I said, what is that? I know it's chicken, but how is it cooked? And so my friend here, she's always willing, well, I'll find out. I said, something, it's beautiful, it's strange, but it's a lovely strangeness. I said, there is no bone? What was done? So my informer quickly found out and told me the culprits of preparing that. I said, wow. Hardee's has nothing on that. Hallelujah. Chick-fil-A and all of them, that's a fish sandwich. I'm sorry, chicken sandwich. But what I began to understand is, you don't understand, nation, it deals with every aspect of one's life. From cooking to dancing to, we're dealing with a force, this doctrine of the sons of the serpent. And we are so arrogant. We defy the law of Haruach. If I tell you something here, it's a wonderful thing to listen and obey it. So his daughter says, well, is this better than Kentucky Fried, Papi? It's Kentucky Fried. Is it greasy? That is not greasy. Made me want. Make me a couple of sandwiches and take them home. And if you didn't do that, then something is wrong in your mind. The way we hustle on Thursday, he makes you get excited when he works. As long as you work like your daddy. And so when I began to identify these two identities of names, it was insane as to what? The music. the musicians of some wacky, wild singing, I'm telling you. And so we name our babies Tabitha because we think of Tabitha, Tabitha, we want to make names up. The Torah is filled with Hebrew names that identifies our father, and we are so sick, insane, and immature. We get offended. I like Dawid better than David. My mother was ignorant, but I love Dawid better. I like Dawid. I like the last name YisraYah'ale. I like that. I really do. I like that. He says there was one. He was the son, S-O-N, of the serpent, whose name is Dawid. That's his name. Just write it down. That's Hanuk, chapter 69. Read the entire chapter so you can see the context of things and those that rebelled against Yah and fought against Yah and rejected Yah. You will find him. And if you don't find comma the son of the serpent whose name, then you know I lied, and run. You don't have to look for material to study. I'll give you enough today that will take you all next week. Prove me wrong. And by proving me wrong, you prove you right. Hallelujah. How can you, how is this one? He used the words, this snake, this bite of nachash. He said that someone comes and grab you and take a hunk of your flesh. That's not it. I want to reveal this to us. Listen. And I'll tell you where I read from when I finish. And this is Dawid, the Melech, the king of a nation that Yah elected to grant him the seat of authority and to guide, judge his people. He shows us his flaws, his sins, and his corruption, that he was deeply sorrowful for those sins. But you don't get by. Not me. Not any of us. And he speaks here in Tehillim. He says to Almighty Yah in Psalm, he says to Yah, deliver me. Separate me, segregate me, O Yah. From who first? He says, the man of Rach, the evil man. The man that has no conscience of Torah, don't allow that man to take authority and rule in my mind. So everything we have today, from the damn internet, your damn cell phone, ruling your life. You love that, you spend more time on that looking than do with your sons, your daughters. And there is no way that the gates of hell are open. You can develop love, fool. It cannot be. You spend more time working. I don't like that. I know what you are created man for. The 3/8, the new beginning. To work, sleep, and to have a great fellowship with YisraYah'ale, your sons, your daughters. They are YisraYah'ale. This is Bo's boy. He said, deliver me from the evil man. Then there's another man. This one is a Hamas. He said, deliver me from the violent man. The one that operates in injustice. One that is cruel. If you want to find out how cruel and how corrupt you is, just get around children, they'll tell you. Just get around children. And especially ones that are growing. She says to me the other day, she came to whisper, Papi, I'll be. Do you understand what that means? I said, yes. You will be a daughter just like your mother, not as mature. You will be a woman. I don't know why in hell we want to demise that.
Yeah.
We are stupid jackasses of humans.
Yes.
I said you will be, and I know a young woman capable of having children.
Yes.
People don't like me, but that's all right.
Hallelujah.
That's a fact. Some of you all get upset with it. I don't care.
Hallelujah.
Period. He says here, I know they're evil, because there's a semicolon after that verse. He says, because they kashab, they imagine, they think, they plan out some of the most violence of evil. They esteem it too. They don't esteem your sins. Get that out of your heart. I don't care what tries me. And we'll all try. We're all going to have battles that will press against our mind. And it's no different than your battle than mine. It's like giving one of us a battle or a task that through the power of YHWHSHUA we can overcome. They invent lies, they calculate. Now this is the son. I will show you. These are the children of the serpent. We're looking for some kind of reptilian. These are stupid men like ignorant jackasses out here that teach these fabricated lies. So we're looking for some kind of reptilian, something like a horns-back snake rattle. It is for real though. But there's something here that is so subtle in their whispering. Will lie. And they don't give a damn about them. How can you care about me? He said they imagine this violent mischief. Where? In their love. Continuously are they gathered together for milchaya. They always looking to fight. They're looking for some circumstance whereby they can fight against.
Yes.
And go whisper by their father words into others' ear. Oh, I'm going to break this down. You're not going to get by. Not one of us. And so they look for those circumstances. And Dawid said, deliver me from that kind. There is nothing like that kind. Deliver me, set me free, segregate me, separate me. He says, well, that doesn't identify them as a serpent. I still have another verse to read. He says, they shona, they sharpen. They sharpen. Shona is an expression that says, they teach, or the teaching is incisively. They're precise with the teaching, the lives. You see, this man, this one that is a student, you're already too wise and smart, so you can never be a student. I was born a student, and I will leave this life as a student. Not a master builder, not even a builder. Because anything that I build is coming down. It must be built by the integrity, in the integrity of the testimony of YHWHSHUA and no other testimony. Not because you think you are, quote, good, nice, and kind, unquote. You're violent, savage what you are. You will lie. You don't give a damn. You don't care. They sharpen their tongue like a serpent's. I tell you what, that's Tehillim 140. Let's read verse 3. Tehillim 140, verse 3. He says they sharpen. In order for you to sharpen something, there must be a whetting process. It must be something. You just can't take a stone and hit the blade one time and it's sharpened. There's a process. You can't take the leather strap and sharpen that razor that you've had for 5 years over and over, and it's just as sharp when you finish. You know the precise strokes, you know the precise angle, and you know what it takes to sharpen that utensil. And that's the way we is. We sharpen and teach ourselves incisively. Continue to bring forth this knowledge, the tongue of lion, deception, every kind of damn the corruption there is, and you have no problem performing them. You lie today, you lie the next hour. You do evil 1 minute, and then you do evil twice the next minute. What's wrong? These are the sons of the serpent. They sharpen their tongue like nahash, and they do that by what kind of teaching? They do it incessantly. They whisper, they talk, they text, talk. Always, girl, you know, who's that? Who's that? Come on now, get up. Let's rock, baby. That's what they do. I don't give a damn if you don't like what I'm saying. Find you someone. I thought about the old man that came a couple of times a day from right down from Columbia. And I said to him, that's not the proper protocol to approach someone. No. I said, you're almost old enough to be my father. Well, he's not old enough to be my father, but he was very silly. And I don't like silly people. He was very silly. You don't greet someone that way. I greet you with an studious nature. I want you to comprehend that you're not dealing with just any kind of strange man. I said to my issue yesterday, we went out and went to purchase some things as I talked to you, YHWHSHUA bound for the shop to get the doors right at the top and bottom. I go in the store. I don't look to see who is in any store. I take care of my business and I'm gone. I don't look to see who I can see. That's me. And so when I went to check out, the woman says to me, you move off a Smith. I said, I don't know what that's, ma'am. I simply came to retrieve certain items out of here, and that's it. She says, where are you from? I said, Jefferson, South Carolina, with the boldness. She says, no. I said, that's where I live now. And so she tried to engage in conversation. I responded like I do with any person. She says, you're not like the people around here. I said, what is that? She said, your speech is different. I said, I don't know about that. My speech is as corrupt, broken like any other man. I'm not Mr. Trump. Went to the best colleges. I'm a high school dropout. Got the best education, got the biggest of words, but it's superlative. His list is quite short to me. True. I mean, they are short. I can do better than that. Hallelujah. She says, no, your language, your phonetic, your speech is different. It is correct. It's precise. Well, it can be that to her hearing, because my vocabulary is not expansive. I take command of the words and I learn how to utilize them, the words I use. I said, I don't know about that, man. I can't say that. She says, look where I work. She says to me, that speaks volume. Where I work, I listen to people all the time. I haven't heard one like you. Come in here. I said, well, there's Nothing convincing about what I say. Thank you kindly, ma'am. And she said, you have a lovely day. I said, thank you, ma'am. And I went exactly and told my patient what I transpired. It wasn't the language. We speak a volume of language beside our words. We're ignorant people because we're arrogant and so humorous and full of pride. So we don't and do not take instructions well. We get mad as hell. We get stupid and immature. We get mad and young. Oh, mother, I've never been that way. My mother whipped my butt. It taught me a lesson. I may have got whipped for the same thing again. She did not spank me. She whipped. The flaggations. She knew how to scourge. Believe me, she did. He said their tongue, Tehillim 143, they have sharpened, they have shanan, they have taught themselves precisely. And so when one is wounded by your violent serpent tongue, your words, your vocal pitch, jackass, the way you interact, I'm striking at this damn dirty house. You take that violent thing you call it up. It's a tongue of the serpent. It's not hard. And I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if I strike her. If I strike him, I don't give a damn. Nothing gets past me, all right? Nothing. So long is that you have been taught, you taught yourself to be that way. The same way you taught yourself, you can unteach yourself. That's the serpent seed doctrine. Look what he says now. Look what Dawid says. Their tongue is like nachash. He said their tongues are like a serpent. That's what he said. Does he utilize the word serpent? He said their tongues are that way. And there is nothing more violent than the tongue of a serpent. You will destroy you, husband, wife, children, grandbabies, step ones, and all. And that's a damn fact. That's a fact. You don't love me, you will not be the last one, all right? I'm not offended because you don't love me. I'm not offended that you don't want to be around me. That's all right with me. You know, because if you came anyway, I don't know how much time we would spend together unless you want to work. He says, not only is this nachash, there's a semicolon there. He says they are, he said they are atlas. YHWHSHUA. They are so venomous and so poisonous. Why? Because of the doctrine. They have taught themselves the same lies, and they talk to themselves. They talk to their own damnable, lying, twisted, corrupt mind. They make themselves to think that I'm better, or I do better than others. I'm much more kinder. The old Proverbs that action, my friend, speaks louder than your twisted, damnable juvenile words. He said they're pausing their chama is where? Under their lips. You understand that? You don't, but I'll explain. He said their pausing is under their short, like shofar. Shofar. What is shofar? You know where your pausing is? And I'll give you the definitive straight out of the Hebrew language. Their pausing is under their lips. But there ain't nothing under my lips but a chin. Use the word shofar. 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 Not shofar, but shofar. Their pausing is under their lips. But that's where an atlas pausing is, under his lips. But this is what the word shofar means. Their pausing is in their language, their speech. Quote, my mother said, you are, quote, good for nothing, you'll never be worth a damn, unquote. That's pausing. I don't love you, I hate you. That's pausing. It cuts to a young one's heart. And that poison, you can't put a slit there and suck it out. It must be cut out. All of that. And there is only one thing that is powerful and sharper than the utensils and the scaffold of a doctor. And that is the two-edged sword. That is the word of Yah. That's the only thing that cut that out of me.
Hallelujah.
Put that on. That's the only thing. Nothing else. And all of their speech, I love you, it did not affect me. You're my son, I love you. I love you, brother. It never. Because I knew it wasn't real. So there is nothing like the poison of Nachash that come from the sons and daughters of the serpent. They're nasty as hell. We're going to identify them. Believe me, you know I'm a student. You don't get by with me. You know why you don't get by with me? Because I don't get by with me. Now don't pretend. I said to her, yesterday we were working. We were looking at something. You know, I was talking to my friend about that last night as he came in. We talked for a minute. I put him out, get home. And I said to him, son, unless I love what I'm doing, love you, what reason should I be here? Is that about money? I said, because my issue and I, we could have done what the world called well. She was a bright enough student that the hospital said we were paid for your degree in nursing. You just give us a 3-year contract. I said, you get them nothing. I will pay for it. I will spend the money. She was an exceptional student. I saw the grades. You don't fudge that. Why? Because you go to school and do what you have to. Don't worry about anything. Don't worry about cooking for me anything. She still did that. She did it with all great delight, but she was an exceptional student. And so don't tell me what, she's a high school dropout too. Now she went back and got her high school diploma. I wasn't smart enough. Where did you get the high school diploma? GED. GED. I got the diploma. Smarter than you. How about that? We don't even know how to handle things like that because we're so evil and violent. It offends you. They are pausing their Hamas. Their violent reaction is under their lips. It's under their surfa, their language, the way they talk. Their verbalizing of things and the tone, the phonetics of their voice when they ask, when they speak, when they employ. It's nasty. Nasty as hogs. It's under their, not fefa, but it's their safa. It's their language. Language has power. And that's how the doctrine of serpent is taught. That's how you become more nasty. I am going to do that. I will not get paid today, so I might as well. And you refine that in your twisted ways. Because you tell you lies. You reinforce that with others like you. That will lie to you because you lie to them. You don't love truth. There are lots that will probably cut me off. Make sure we constantly let them know what they consider an offering and the address. I know you're doing it. Dawid said, I will extol you, Yah. That's the first indication of one that is a son of the serpent, a daughter of the serpent. That's the indication. That's why we must listen, not just to what people say. They will tell you, if one takes a lie detective test, I've taken one before for a job. They will ask you baseline questions to find out where the scope. It's not that it tells, but that you're lying, but there's a neurological activity that takes place. So they ask you baseline questions. What is your name? JOIN YisraYah'ale? Yes. They don't want you to answer but yes and no. And so they ask you baseline questions. Is your wife's name Raphael? Yes. Have you all been married X amount of years? Yes. Have you lied to her before? Then immediately you say, where have I lied? No, and then there's a neurological process that takes place. Spike goes up. It's different in the baseline question because you know your name, you know that. And that's how they compute whether one is telling a lie. And they're not honest. And they're not truthful. And we are greater than a lie detective test. My grandmother didn't need that. She could tell when I lied. And she wasn't, quote, as one would say, quote, the most saintliest of individuals, unquote. A drunkard, a liar, a cussaholic. That's what she was. You can call her what you want to. But that's what she conveyed. He talks about Shaul, talks about this nachash, this whispering, this ability to whisper, to conjure. See the doctrine of HABITATION. It was one that speaks to the mind. And that's how the enemy does. And the enemy is within ourselves. We're our greatest of enemies. You can't make me do anything that I don't want to do. But you can make you do a lot of things that you know are corrupt and evil. And that's a fact. And that's why you do that. Because there's a seed there. There's a seed there. Let me bring more identity to that. I want you to write down Romans chapter 1. Just listen to me. Romans 1. You'll have time to study it out in the dimension that you have the ability. Yah says about this messenger Shaul, they have all created their own gods. They esteem the Torah of Yah less than what they esteem their own God. They have no love for the Torah. They have forsaken the Torah. That's why they can remember their damnable Sunday tomorrow. That's why they can defy his name. They're going to hell. I don't care if it's your son, your grandbabies, they're going to hell. Now, if they don't go to hell, Yah is a lie. And by his immutability, he cannot lie. Well, Daddy, it doesn't make any difference. You're damn right. You go on your job and your boss is Billy Bob and you call him Jimbo. Hold up, buddy, and don't let it be he had a bad night or bad day that him and his wife was having difficulties. It will go off on you. He has a name. Do not hold us guiltless that defile. I don't give a damn if she's 90 or 100. Hallelujah. Old folks go to hell. Yes. Because they're set in their damnable wicked ways. That's a fact. Hallelujah. Listen to what Shaul says. He said, we as a nation, we ought to Yah, we ought to know Yah. Isn't that so? He said, because that when they knew Yah, they did not they did not esteem him. They did not bless him. They did not they did not, we would say, quote, worship, unquote. They did not do any of that. Not only did they not magnify him, they did not celebrate him, they did not show him kabod, the greatest of honors and the greatest of esteems. They would do that with sons and daughters. Oh, my baby, I'm a proud mama, parents of my son of JK Elementary. That's one thing that Evangelist Hartsfield taught me from J Street. There should never be any kind of pride of anything in you. No pride is demonic. I've always allowed that to be. I'm proud of I'm just proud of my children. I'm proud of no one. I'm not even proud of me. And that's a fact. Pride is from hell, any kind of pride. They did not honor him as the Most High, neither were they thankful. They did not give Todah. I get up Todah Yah every day, all day, every step. But they became vain in their own concept, their imagination. They began to deliberate Yah. They began to question Yah. They began to figure things out. That's what the serpent does. And the most important thing about imagination, we began to question that which is truthful. Can I explain that? I know how we think.
Yes.
I said to her, you're just like your mother. You have become a woman. And so her imagination will carry her off into her juvenile, immature ways. And she thinks she can tell mama. And she knows more than mama. Mama, I know about babies. I had you. Yeah. And they become vain. They become empty. They become stupid in the way they think. Yes. And that's the fact of the matter, all right? They become very stupid. They become very asinine and foolish in their ways. And that's what we have become. Yes. But they became vain in their imagination. And they are foolish. She's a young woman, so her heart becomes foolish. Nobody tells me I can do what I want to. I'm a woman just like you, mama. Daddy, I'm a man. Can you hit hard as me? Daddy, I'm a tough boy. Let's go. I'll get some gloves. And I'm going to teach you. Yeah, I would have done that with my sons. You think you're tougher than me, son? Yeah, Daddy. You old, Daddy. Daddy, you old man. You can't. Daddy, I'm tough. I said, okay, boy, I like that. Let's come on out here. Let's rope it off now. If you go outside the rope and touch it, you lose. You lose a point. We'll go to 25. And I would have rocked him up. Yeah, I would have. That's right, I'd put something on him. Just let him see, that's what our foolishness of our hearts will become so dark. This is the one that brought you up, put bread on the table for you. Yah has put lechem on the table for us. He's the one that birthed and breathed life into you, and you become so stupid you slaughtered him. That's the seed, the son, the daughter of a serpent. They profess themselves to be wise, and we all think we're wise. Smarter than everyone. Yes. You're wise in your own conceit, your own lies, and your own violent evil ways. But you think you're wise. You think you got the answer for everything. You're wise in your own conceit. He said, but, and they became fools. They're fools. Yes. Fool. Woman that right me, you can't say fools. Well, Shaul explicitly identifies, he said they became fools. Yes. Yah doesn't contradict himself. I know what I'm saying. They became so stupid of fools, and this is what they did. This word here, lasso, it says in verse 23, and change, a lasso, that's what change is. A lasso, a lasso, a lasso. It's not that they change what is written here. That's not what a lasso means. See, this is where the private investigation becomes vital, and the magnifying glass of knowledge of the book is most important. And they became a lasso. What does that mean? They simply says, I know what you says, Yah, but what I'm going to do, what I think, I'm going to exchange what you say for what I think. That's all. That's all a lasso is. It's not that someone said, well, look, I'm going to take this and make this my God. That's not what he was saying. We have changed the law, the Torah of Yah, a lasso, and we have said, I will exchange. You stay right there. Instead of me taking that on, I'm going to exchange that for what I got and what I believe. You can't tell me how to believe or what I believe. You've never heard that? If you live long enough, you hear it. Yes. Does it make sense? Yes. Oh, what I teach makes sense. All right. Yeah. He says, and they exchange, or they change the splendor, the beauty of Yah. How do I know that He's beautiful and He is uncorruptible? Because I look this morning and look at the air and look at the beauty of the day. Just makes you feel nice. Makes me. Hallelujah. And look at all those things. The sun rose this morning. It's going to set. It is uncorruptible. Nothing changes. Ways His wisdom. So we have taken the beauty of Yah and His expression and say, well, I believe this. Now you can't go that way, but I'm going this way. It says, now listen here. Romans 1, verse 23. Just write that down. That's a very vital verse in the context of what I'm teaching. It says, they change all this into a, they change the uncorruptible Yah into an image made to corruptible man. Who is that one that was corrupt? And taught them, the sons of serpent. His name was David. That's the man. That's the man. The sons of, he was a son of the serpent. He was a right-hand man of the dark whispering. He was the right-hand man of him, and they that fell from the heavens of Yah. He was a right-hand man. He says, made like to corruptible man. And that son of the serpent, corrupt man. Yes. From the laws of Yah. The most powerful law of Yah is this. You all believe me if I tell you? Yeah. It's to love Him with everything. And then damn you, you got to love me like you love Him. Yeah. You got to love the house. Yeah. You must be kindly affectionate. Yeah. Not just, you see that baby cry because she understands my affection. It was a tough with boys. Only 7 girls and maybe 4 or 5 boys. We taught them all to protect your sisters. I would have taught them hand-to-hand combat. And believe me, if you touch one, you got to touch all of them, you're in trouble. That's what I wanted. You touch one, you're in trouble. I was young, I was strong, I was virile, I was vibrant. I would have taught them every, yeah, I would have. Sure would have. And they would have been the guards for their sisters. Hold up, my friend, hold up. Don't talk like that to her. Who are you? I got an army here. And they would have been precise and tough. Yeah, they would have. Tough boys. Bad. Yes, sir. And if they did not, you got Papa to deal with when you come home. Let's set the ring up. Let's get in the ring. I'm giving you 6-ounce gloves. There was nothing you could say. And I'm taking 12 ounces. We're going for a ride. And you're not getting Bible. No. No more than we're getting by. No. So that child understood affection. She saw her friends encroaching upon her spot of affection. She did not want them to do that. So she tells one to go back over there. She should learn to talk to her mother as a friend and love her.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Mama just can't be ruthless. Do that, do this, go back. Can't do that. She can't. She teach her by the example. That's how you teach them. She knows among the words. Takes their business. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
He says this, Romans 1:23. They change into this habitat, and to be birds and four-footed beasts. But there's a word in here he used, herpenton. Herpenton is called creeping. Herpenton. It says creeping. You would never understand that because our energy level is not to press beyond, just to press past, and we come to a conclusion. That's not how this man works. The word pets, just like her, H-E-R, pets, P-E-T, ton, just like ton, T-O-N, it means this. It chiefly, see, we're looking at that creeping thing. We have no idea of the ramification of that. They are creepy, they are watchful, they are looking to assault, they're looking to get something. You understand? That's what the snake does. Yes. It just doesn't, it watches and it looks to get something. It looks to fire with its fangs and its venom. It looks to bring accusation. I'm talking to us all. You can be a damn hypocrite all you want to. You better examine your nasty, evil heart.
Yes.
They creep. As they were saying the days, boy, he was creeping. That's how they were saying. He walked soft. He walked out of the way. He didn't want to be noticeable. And that's what a snake does. But her penton, chiefly, it identifies with this slithering, snaky mentality. That you're not honest with. A snake will eat another snake. Believe me, a ratter will eat a black snake. But the black snake is better than the copperhead is. It was built to eat the copperhead. But the copperhead will eat him if he gets the up on him. You understand? But the black snake was built for that. He was built, a python was built for that. He's built not to poison one, he's built to overpower you and squeeze you to death. Rattle depends on its tenacity. It no technique, just come striking distance. That's all I need to do is put just a little bit of distraction in you. Just put one lie. And one can tell whether you buy the lie, or you abandon that damnable lie. And they will know from J Street that if I can deceive you here, I got you. And they began to fill you with poison. That's what the snake does. Once he dropped his venomous poison, his fangs in you, it began to emit. The first dose will paralyze you. Death is coming. Your breathing is coming. Take it down. Whoo, I'm out of breath. Whoo. My. And not only that, they're whispers.
Yes.
What is real? I can talk to her.
True.
I do everything in the open. I don't hide nothing. I hide nothing. He could ask his mother next time you see her, remember when she was here. He'd say, here's the checkbook. I will never forget her words. I'm glad you handled things. We're creepers.
Yes.
We're creepers.
Yes.
We do things in our secretive ways, but don't think you're getting by. Yeah. That's the serpent seed doctrine, or that you're a son of the son of a serpent.
Yes.
your son, and you practice that which is serpentine, nachash, you whisper, and anything you do, you don't do anything to build, you do everything to strike poison in them. Yes. Mothers, you don't treat your daughters as though that they're not significant or sufficient. Right. You treat them like you treat you, as a beautiful young one that is maturing. Yes. Yes. That she will not become discouraged. But it's time to marry. I was saying to her father, I want young men here. I want families to come. People don't like me. Maybe Yah will move me, and then they will come. But you're going to have a hell's mess. I want a man, like a father, for her. A man like that. Just don't want any kind of a boy. What am I? I long to see others come, but there are those that, I don't know how many are listening, but then they have this kind of opposition. They know they're not going to come here and play. They know they can't come in like a clown or jackass. They know they can't come in with folly, and they got a lot of that. Yes, you got a lot of that mess in you. And you know I'm not going to put up with it. I don't care if I don't have friends. That's a fact. I'd rather have enemies than to have what you call a friend. I've seen them come and they were all my friends. They love me. Never heard anyone like me, and all of a sudden they've come in with all kinds of testimony. I've never heard it like this. There's so much we need to learn now. Where are they? They're hypocrites. They're flat out hypocrites and liars. And they would tell you, I know what I'm doing. They go back to their damnable ways. They've abandoned Yah. And there are those that they listen to me. Yes. But they don't listen. They are as corrupt as hell. Yes. And I would tell them, first of all, forgive me, Yah. I wouldn't even waste my time, really. I don't contend with men when it comes to this. Yeah. Because if you're my wife, you leave me one time, you do it again. And there will never be the confidence of extolling if you never left me, if you leave me one time. No, not twice, just one time. Yes. So I wouldn't trust them. Just being honest. Yes. Can I go no further? I got to give this thing called pistorismos. That's the Greek. Pistorismos. Pistorismos. That was Romans chapter 1. Read the entire chapter. I want to look at how Paul identifies this violent spirit. I don't want to call it ruach because it brings no life. Ruach brings life. That's breath out there. When you go out there and breathe, in his life, I like just a little chillness. I like just a little. May have to make a fire tonight. I haven't had one in almost 2 weeks. I like it that way. I like to sleep within about 65 in my bedroom. I don't like for it to be warm and hot. That's me. I like it that way. Your body doesn't have to work in any temperature. 65 to 68 is the perfect temperature to sleep in. No. Summertime is a different ball game because it gets 85 in the bedroom. That's hot. Listen to this. I want you to hear this. And I will tell you, let me read first. He talks about this one that whispers. They use slander. And the word pistorismos, it identifies with this. Listen, there is a magical conjuring of hell that seduced the mind. I'm glad you go this far, preacher. Yeah. I'm glad you go beyond the door being open. Yeah. Pistorismos. It means that that's what slander is, and that's what the son of serpent taught them. The flagellation, the beating and tearing down. Can I show an example? It's like a man speaking to his wife, telling her she's no good, you're sorry, you're this, you're that, you're mother, you're this, you're son of a. You tell me that doesn't scar a man? Yes. A mother talking to her daughter that way, you no good. I watched my mother talk to my sister. I'm like, mine and me. It was this magical nachash that corrupt us and tore us to pieces. That belittle us. And mothers that do that. It's not a mother. Talk to your child that way, you damn fool. They don't realize, and the child can never explain that to them. You don't understand what you did to me. Parents like that will go out of their way to try to reconstitute themselves. If I have a child, I'll never do that. I won't do it that way. I'll hold back a lot of things. And then they become too lenient because they knew how, I know how. I'm not dysfunctional because my mother did that. Don't tell me you got to go and kill somebody, fool. Yeah. And then you treat others like that. I can't do nobody like that. Yeah. I can't do your husband like that. I love him too much. I can't do you, Achim, like that. Your daughters, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. I tell you, when you sin, you're ignorant, you're wicked. Now let's go eat. Let me get some more of that chicken fried. Was it spicy? Oh, they messed up on that. They messed up on that. I told him, teach your buddy, your friend back there how to make a real sandwich. He didn't know what to do, that little thin thing he had. That ain't no sandwich, man. You teach him next time. Big Dad, Little Daddy. I like that. Teach him how to make a sandwich, not a sandwich. A sandwich. He had the right to. He said, boy, you know what you're doing. There ain't no doubt about that. He had it right. Get some of that chicken. We can sell that, but you got a little spice on it. It just ain't right. That's wrong. That's wrong, daughters. I love you all, but that's flat out wrong. To them, my friend. That's flat out wrong. It's just wrong. It's wrong. That was just too gorgeous not to have some that was spicy. It was. Hallelujah. Shaul speaks to those that were gathered in Corinthia. Listen. This is what he says. He says, I want you all to understand something, first of all. God, do not think that the messengers still need to keep defending and apologizing to you. Because you don't like what I said? He said, don't think. I'm telling you, Corinthia. That's in the 12th chapter. Just write it down. Just read the whole 12th chapter. Now, I'm not trying to finagle with words. 2 Corinthians. He said, I want to remind you all, don't think now that I'm going to keep defending myself or ourselves and apologizing to you. He says, we speak before Yah in YHWH HaMashiach. Then he says this after this, colon. But we do not something, but we do all things. But we asa, we fashion call, we do all things. We do all things, dearly beloved, for your edifying. That's why a wise man will always teach one to be wiser than him. A wise daughter always instruct one to be wiser than her. Your mother, I don't care what you are, what you is, your mother, you have no children, you never birthed a child. She's never, but you always teach the ones to become wiser than you, to become more affectionate, to become kinder. I'm not going to teach his son, although I have no sons, not to be kind. Like his daddy. I said, boy, you're handsome, boy. You're as handsome as your daddy. She thinks, she knows you're handsome, all right? I said, boy, you're just as handsome as your daddy. I said, boy, you're a handsome boy. He said, my dad is handsome. He said that. He said, Papa, my daddy is, he's tall, but he's handsome. You like him? All right. I'm not going to apologize to you. I'm not. He said, but we do all things to bring you into the fullness of his truth. For I fear there's a trepidation in me, lest when I come to see you all, I fear this more than anything. He said that I will not find you in the way I would like. I feel when I come, that's sad there. It's almost like a mother visiting her daughter and she finds the disarray of her home, and that saddens her. She wants to come and see the beauty of her. The father wants to see the order of his sons. He says that I will not like, and that I shall act among you. Now, this is what Saul says. We're such hypocrites. We think that the way Rayach should act is like a little juvenile boy. I'm not going to act that way. He said, I shall act among you as you will not like. He said, the way I'm going to show off. I'm going to bust some heads. See, first thing we think that you would teach your son, you would take out there and box him and all that. Yeah, I would have. That ain't, yeah, no, I know that's not of your God. That we had some warriors. And there were nothing like those Levites. I'm going to teach that. The fighting warriors of Yah. All right? I promise you that. They were bad. There was one here by the name, I called him Mahaliah. He was the chief warrior of Dawid. Now sin, corruption, every kind of damnable, devious, wicked, evil thing is eating him alive. Yes. I don't feel sorry. He that put his hands to the plow, and the plow is not for you to plow me, is to plow down into the depths of that damnable wicked heart of yours. And he turned his back from the job that is not finished. We will not even be finished when we go to the grave. Yahshua will put the finishing touch on the process. When he calls, we will answer. I won't be finished, neither will you. You plow down in the depths of sin and corruption, every kind of evil thing. You sell that for what? You sell Yah for what? My, such evil, such corruption. And because you listen to me, that doesn't mean you're going into the kingdom. You've got to have some real repentance. This is a generation that will accuse the messenger, just like Shaul said, damn you all. Well, he didn't say that. No, he said that. He said, damn all of you all. Now, don't think you running me. Don't think because of your stupidity. And Shaul said, tell me what language I'm speaking now. Well, I don't know. Well, then shut your wicked mouth, man. You think all the dialogue with Shaul is here? That's stupid. You think he was praising some kind of little pious little thing that we call pious, grinning and skinny? Oh, Abraham, you know, don't worry about it. No, he said, you wicked dog. Yes. That's how he reproved, he repudiated, he uprooted, and he told them their wicked, evil ways. He said, you're not going to like when I come. I'm telling you that. Least there be debates, you always are striving, envying, wrath, backbiting. And he said, there is one called pistol. There's one called whispering. Pistol rismos. You work in your magical conjuring up that spirit of your ancestors. You were birthed out of the sons of the serpents. You began to use your magical charm. He says, you can't do that on me. You're not going to play that on me, fools. And that's the way we are. I don't even defend me. I defend no one. The dam of Yahshua is sufficient to defend me. Because when I fall, when I become weak, it is that blood that reminds me. When I'm tried in my mind, I'm not going to do Yah's nation wrong. I'm not going to do you wrong, son. I watched him on Thursday. We were working together. And I was telling Shimbri last night, I said, man, Big Daddy, he's a monster. You know what I'm saying? He's a monster. Man, work hard, he eats hard. I said, Big Daddy's a monster. He's bad to the ball. Oh, where's the boy? He's going. I watched that big man on that tractor, man. He's bad. He's a monster. He is a bad, bad man. He is. Wow, I just sat there and just look at that. I get ready and I said, look at that boy. Big Daddy, get that. You don't have to do that. I said, what do you want to do? Because I'm thinking about time. He said, I don't fight against what he says. I said, okay. That's what a leader does. If he leads, then he's led. I don't fight against him. He said, we're going to do the time. He said, nah, we're going to put 3 in there. Well, he broke one on the way. I said, go and get 6. Matter of fact, I said 7. Did you get 7? Okay. In case another one break, we not go. And the old tractor boy, she's a bad girl, but she gets hard-headed. She gets sassy. She gets awful sassy. And Big Daddy knows how to work the high-low, and she sets up on her foots, not feet, not the front tires. She sets up, and Big Daddy knows to calm her down and just says, that's a rock. I know what I got right there. Let me get it out. Then I said, you're going to distance? He said, no, you're not quality. He said, no. I was going to put the disc on it. I'm like, man, whatever you say, Big Daddy, go in. Yeah. I tell you what, while you go get that, I go to the greenhouse. I got something to do over there. I can handle that. By the time I got back, he had the disc on, and I said, Big Daddy, I just leave him alone. And he started ripping that, and he ripped that. I looked at it. Different forms and colors of the dirt. That's what you got to get down like that. You watch how the garden produced this year. And then he said, I'll put the disc on it. When he hit that thing, it just like beautiful river like that. Oh, I got happy. I get happy when I see it. It makes me so happy. And we got some beautiful plants in the greenhouse, and they're ready. I'm taking care of mine end, all right? When I come, Shaul says, if I don't find you like you ought to be, there's going to be some trouble there, because I hear of this pistorismus. I hear of all your magical spell. You have taken that brother and convinced him, that sister. You have turned that one against that one. That's a serpent. A serpent turns against a serpent. There's not one snake that will not eat another snake. There's not one kind of a snake that will not eat a snake. No more than we will not eat each other. We will eat each other up with our lives and our words. And so mothers, fathers, you don't eat your sons and daughters up. You don't destroy them. You don't take their, you don't discourage them. She's wrong. Sit down! You don't. You don't. You let you be the example above all. You must be the example. Same thing with Daddy. You must come home and show her a beauty of love and tenderness and kindness. Embrace it and love him, man. Stupid generation. I hear these dogs that call themselves Hebrews. They call what they call their women. Most of them are not even married. They call them the B word. They call them everything. That's insane. You call one that you say you love and got probably young about, you call her a dog. And 99% of them, their wives or whatever, they're not even in there with them. Because they're those that don't even let women come into. I said, that is so stupid. Why did you think Shaul ordained, he called the deacons and all them to take care of the daughters of Zion? That's some stupid mess out there. This deals with our sin. This what I'm teaching deals with you. Hallelujah.
Yes,
He says, least when I come again, my Yah will humble me among you. He said, if Yah doesn't do it, I'm not about to humble myself. I'm just praying that when I come, the Yah will slow me down and humble me. But as far as me, I'm not going to be humble. I'm not going to display myself in the way you think what love is. He said, because I'm coming to rip the whole house to pieces. We don't want to do that. I'm not going to patronize with her sins or my sins. She's wrong. Well, tell her. I don't care about the emotions. No.
Yes.
yes.
I'm not going to let her do anyone wrong. I know she's not doing that. She tell you how to do things right.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Hallelujah.
That's how you do it.
Yes.
That's how you do it. The little daughters love her. All of them.
Yes.
That little one there says to her, Nani, you teach in every class. I want you to come teach us Spanish too. Teach in my class. That's it, you teach them. Yeah, it is. Because if they can comprehend, analyze, dialogue like that, there's nothing they will not be able to do.
Yes.
And that's just a fact. Let me move a little further.
Yeah.
Shaul said, at least when I come, he said that my great King Yah will humble me among you, and that I shall be well many. I shall be well many. I shall be well many which have sinned already. He said, I'm going to be well you because I know the pattern of your destruction, and have not repented of the uncleanness, the fornication, the lasciviousness which they have committed. You haven't even repented of your corrupt, violent ways, your cruel ways, your inhumane ways. Come on, nation.
Yes.
We can't be inhumane with one another. I can't be inhumane with her. No, I can't. No, she doesn't visit me as much as they, because if they live next door, she would be over there all the time, just like they do. But I'm not inhumane with her. I was thinking, I said, can I say this? You all love this. I'll wait until the other one gets in. All right, let me move on. He said, I will not repent. When I deal with you, you think he wouldn't pull them aside and stroke their backs? There were too many people. He would tell Obadiah, you are a wicked man. You're violent, you're evil, and you're going to pay the price for your evil ways. We don't want that. He would tell his wife, you are a nasty little Jezebel, and you need to stop your wicked damn ways. That's the way he talked. Well, he didn't. It's one thing about language, verbiage. We think we understand what words mean. We don't understand what they mean. And we think we understand whether we call it, quote, cussing, unquote. What is cussing? And that gives you a sense of being more refined. Well, I'm not refined.
Yeah.
That's me. Hallelujah. It's one thing about those that whisper. The sons of the serpent, that they are your most vital enemy. Read 2 Corinthians 12, the whole chapter. Let me read from Sirach. He gives me some knowledge here. Sirach. Just listen. I'll tell you when I finish. And so as you read this, will be your study, you will know whether I said the right and the appropriate thing. Sirach says, this is the enemy. And they always whisper, these are the sons of the serpent. They have the serpent doctrine in there. They have Nahash. That's what Nahash is. It is the doctrine of me, myself, me. You don't give a damn. You don't care. You're greedy. You're selfish. You don't even care.
Yeah.
She says to me this morning, Ray, we listened to you this morning. It was an old message. You sound so young. How do you know I sound young? Do I talk the same way? My voice still reverberates. She said, Dawid said he was young. What does she know about being young? She's a baby. So when they're hard on us, they tell them, you're a baby. And Mama says, you're not a baby. I said, you were that size and you did the same thing. Your mama did the same thing when she was your age. Getting huffy and puffy and muffy and stuffy. And duffy and ruffy and crumpy and grumpy and wumpy. Got that rhyme on, don't I? I don't care if you don't like what I say in my speech. She was cruffy and crumpy and grumpy and jumpy. She was all of that. So you got your rhyme on for Mama now. Don't even try it. Look at what Sirach says here. He says, this is what the enemy will do. He will stay with you for a time. That's what enemies do. It's only for a time. Yes. Sirach, I'll tell you. Just listen. But if you, he used the word falter, F-A-L-T-E-R, if you falter. What does it mean? I've sinned. If you just even grow weak, if you do something that he doesn't like, she doesn't like, you see, everything is covered in the book. Even if you falter, he will not stand by you. Look at this crowd. They all have said, I faltered. I grew weak. I did things that they were inappropriate. What? Tell me. But I dealt with my sins and your violent corruption. He says he will not stand with you. An enemy will speak sweetly with his lips, but in his mind, see, that's the territory. It is labor. Oh, I love my sons. I love my daughters. But here, there, that's a damn lie. Yes. You can get nothing out of sugar but sweetness. You can get nothing out of a lemon but bitterness. Yes. You can't get sweet and bitter water from the same fountain. I don't give a damn who you are. Yeah. Make the fountain sweet. Yes. That's how you do it. Yeah. Well, you're not being sweet. I'm very sweet because I'm giving to you the sweet water. Yeah. I'm not providing. All I have here is scriptures. Yeah. He says, an enemy will speak sweetly with his lips. Oh, I love you, Ray. But in his mind, he plans to throw you in a pit. Yes. He says, an enemy will weep with his eyes. Oh, Ray, I come for you. Everybody else may leave you. But if he finds an opportunity, I don't even say things like that. I've never been taught to do things like that. I don't say that. Yes. But if he finds opportunity, his thirst for blood will be insatiable. He wants to sin. He wants to bring you down where you're not. Yes. He's not with the 12-gauge shotgun. Then he says, if adversity and calamity befalls you, that's a fact. You will find him there ahead of you. Oh, brother, what's wrong? I love you. I love you so much. He'll get ahead of you. And while pretending, we may think, and we've gone out of our ways, there are others. They don't give a damn about you. They will not give you a biscuit. They won't even do a damn thing for you. That's a fact. He said, and while pretending to help you, yet shall he undermine. He shall undermine you. He will trip you. This is important right here. By the Akhdib. Who is this and what is Sharak speaking? Who's going to trip who? Is this the idea of the sons of the serpent? I tell you what I'm reading. I want you to turn that now. Sharak 12. Look at verse 17. Because I want to show you what this prophecy, what he identifies with here. He says in Sharak 12:17, just that one verse I want you to hear. If adversity and calamity befalls you, you will find him there ahead of you, and while pretending to help you, yet shall he undermine you, and he will trip you by the heel. Akhdib. There's only one verse to express to me the serpent doctrine, what it will do. Hold your finger there. And I want you to turn quickly to Bereshit, Genesis. Genesis chapter 49, verse 1. I want to show you the son of the serpent, how they evolved, and in what house, every house they are in. Genesis 49:17. These are the words of Yaakov, the patriarch of YisraYah'ale. He says, Dan, I love you. He said, Dan shall be a serpent. Does it say that?
Yes.
Does it say Dan shall be a serpent?
Yes.
He shall have the life of Nachash by, notice what it says there, by what? T-H-E, the way. Torah. That's what the Torah was known as. Our forefathers, the way. And that's why the old woman would say, I'm going to walk in the way. They were ignorant, they have been dumbed down. We must walk in the way. In the way of what? Of Torah. Yes. He said, he shall be by. He's not going to be in the way. He's going to be by the way. That's the difference between in, he's walking the line. And that's the serpent, sons of hell, that perpetrating your damn wicked mind. Yes. You're by the way, but you're not in the way. You're just looking. Right. Oh, she thinks she's right. No, you're just evil as the gates of hell. Yes. You're wrong, man. I don't want to be like that. There were things as a young man when I saw them. I would say, yeah, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to do that. And I don't do it. Yeah. And I haven't done it. He shall be by the way. The Torah calls him a Shephion, calls him an adder in the path. Now both of those, the way, the path. I'll teach on that one day and I'll show you something. In the path. That's Nachash, does it say bites? Yes. Bites the horse's achib, that bite the horse's heel. There's one that's going to ride on the thunders of the heavens, and he shall lead his nation. And this serpent doctrine will try to dismantle, and that's what it's doing today. He shall bite. See what Sosharak says there in 12:17? How he will try to undermine. That's the serpent doctrine. Your own serpentine doctrine undermines the truth of Yah. It tells you you're nice and right and you're a dirty liar. Yeah. You're a wicked individual. Yes. Yes. It tells you you love. You don't even know what love is. Yeah. You're kind of. No. Yeah. If you want to find out how kind, affectionate you are, children will tell you. Yes. And that's a fact. Yes. When they get a little older, you've got to be direct and honest with them. Because if you're not, they will find you out quickly. Yes. That's a fact. They know you're a hypocrite, liar. Yes. Authority is not the issue. And making yourself big. Love is the issue. Yeah. Does y'all put the rod on us every time we do wrong? No, hell no. He doesn't. He suffered with us.
Hallelujah.
And who has sinned more than me? No one.
Hallelujah.
Who has been as evil as me? No one. No one. Well, you said you haven't done that, but that makes no difference at all. Who has corrupted me? No one. Who has vile as me? No one. You know why I say that? Because he pays the price. Yeah, I said it that way. He pays this, as Granny says, for me. And so his death wasn't about some kind of pristine I am. Who's that pristine? He is.
Yes.
So my evil is just as evil as the murderer.
Yes.
As the prostitute on the street, walking with AIDS and spreading it. It's no different. We are crazy, crazy people to think we're crazy.
True.
To think like that. I'm so glad I never thought like that.
Hallelujah.
I've never thought like that. I have never. Well, I'm not as bad as him. I'm worse than him. I'm glad he got him in the midst so I can see how bad I am. That I got to get right. And if I can get right, he get right. He can help me, I can help him. That's what this is about. Helping each other. We were talking last night, my friend in the back. I said, you know, this is where I want to live. I could have lived totally different. I said, the money you make and all that, I said, it's one thing about the proclivity of man. The more you make, you will engage into more. And that's just the fact of the matter. I don't care who you are. You want to expand. You want to need more. And that's just a fact. That's why we as a nation, we must be contented. And the only thing that makes us content is knowing truly who we are. Not because you think you found out you're Hebrew Israelite. You're not even one. You're a liar, you're corrupt. I can see why people don't come back to see this man. They don't like him. That's all right. I would love him. I'm being honest. I would like this man. If I had met him, I would shut my mouth and say, talk to me. Talk. And just let him talk. Because I know, in all my ignorance, he's talking in a way that I can talk like him. And you don't hear many men talk. They will have their Shabbat service and all they're going to teach. Nothing to do with sin, the corruption of a nation. Nothing like this. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. And so this is what shall be in the way that it says in Torah 12:18. He will shake his head, clasp his hand. That's what he will do. And then he's going to lahash. He's going to whisper. It says that in Torah 12:18. He's going to whisper. He's going to charm. He's going to conjure a spell. Well, brother, you know I love you, brother. You think I don't love you, brother? You know I'm with you, brother. Sister, you know I love you. And they conjure a spell that you become invested in their emotion. Instead of saying, you are a wicked heifer of a liar. You will watch them change immediately when you correct them. That's why Shaul said, you don't want me to come now. Not now. Because when I come, I'm busting some heads off. You know I'm bona fide, because when Shaul went to destroy that house, he will kick that in the head of everyone. Kill them all. Kill every last one. So don't think that what he had, that died off. Stop that. He was bona fide and bold. He was tenacious with the tenacity of the same zeal he had in the way. And the way was open up. He didn't lose that. And we think it was some kind of a Pompeius Pius. They think, well, oh, okay, then. No, he wasn't that way. You're fighting, you don't never stop fighting. Once you learn how to fight, you know how to fight. I don't care if you're my age and crazy, thinking I can whip you. That's silly. I'll whip you with smartness. Come on, man, sit down, let's eat. And the way that sandwich, fry him, I'll go by the chicken. Tell me what you want. Hot sauce, get some of that spicy flavor. doing right. He told them he ain't about to do nothing. Yeah, he ain't. He isn't about to do anything. Neither am I. All right, brother, I'll tell you, well, we can hook up tomorrow. Okay, all right. I ain't coming back with steak the next day. Because I will win him over. That's a fact. I will win him over.
Yes.
That's a fact. And that's how YHWH win us over, by the legend and the meat.
Hallelujah.
We want to fight it out crazy, man. He said, all right, sit down, let's eat. And he feeds us like this, nation. That's what he does, all right? He will whisper, he will low hush. He will conjure, and he will, in all of his whispering, he'll whisper in his breath and mumble up his spell. You've never done that. As a child, you make me sick. You know, nation, I don't speak to show you some kind of grandizing person I was, because I was wicked as anyone. But there was a limitation as a young person. I had a feeling from my mother that you could never express, because if she calls you a son of a, you mother, I hate you. What do you say? You don't want to really mother deal with her. It was her pain. She didn't know how to express that. Come on. It was 3 marriages dissolved. Nobody ever loved her. 6 children. 6 different men. Come on. I don't hold that against my mother. I'm glad I was birthed the way that Yah intended for me to be birthed. Yes. I'm glad of that. I am. Because it made me appreciate things and fidelity of others, you know. I didn't talk to my mother like my sisters and my brothers. I didn't do her like that. I'm not boasting in that. I just didn't do that because I would think, and I could understand her pain as a young 12, 13, 14-year-old lad, until I left my mother's house at 16. I could understand her pains. And I knew they were real. And then when I became a man, we would talk in the sense, not just a mother and son, but we would talk, she could talk to me, and she knew I didn't tolerate the foolishness. And she would always, I wish all my children were like you. I wish every last one of them. I say, quit worrying about them. Don't worry about your children. You just worry about you. You can't straighten them out. You need to straighten yourself out. You understand? So I'm glad I had that. You have to be careful with your words and how you interact. Yes. Yeah, I talk with them different than I talk with you in here, all right? And that's just a fact. Yeah. That's just a fact. Listen. He said, you won't know he's whispering. He whispered much, not just whispering. And he changes his countenance. It's almost like one whispering under breath. And mama said, girl, what's wrong with you? Nothing. And you can tell she's lying. Daddy said, boy, what's your problem? I ain't got no problem, Daddy. His vocal pitch, his look, his countenance change. And so people don't realize this ponem here, this space between here. You can tell when a man is nutty. I can. He can pretend all he wants to and pretend everything is all right, but I know, I can see it. I can tell when his attitude changed. I'm like, damn. And I don't stop. I don't care who it is. Yeah. If it's him, I don't care. Yeah. I don't stop. I don't care if it's him. Yes. And that's just a fact. Yes. Shadrach says his whole countenance, it changes. And you can tell when it changed. Ooh, I've only gotten the 3 pages. I got 8 pages up here. I'm not going to teach a part 3 on this or part 4 or 5 because there's much more to go. Let me show you something. When you find one, listen to me, nation. I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister, mom-in-law, daughter-in-law, son-in-law, pap-in-law. You find this spirit. You all don't have to buy. When you find this active nachash, that is a hater. It is the poison that is so venomous. One bite will kill you. Yes. Listen to this. I just read from Shabbat 12, but I'm going back to Tehillim. I want you to hear this. Just listen. that we says that all, not some. Everyone that hates me, they are the one that YHWHSHUA. They are spells. They speak spells, and they try to charm you to work, as the old folks would say, work roots on you. Yes. They will work their roots. They will go to some son of the serpent. They will buy some concoction, come around your door and all of that. I will never forget the experience of that in my life as a child. And I remember this man he was a false devil. Mother Smith married that dog. And he had put this concoction of things in her car. All kinds of little bags and stuff. And she found it. And I'll never forget. Evangelist Hirschfield was in town. And he was at my home. And she was, because of how she had been trained about conjuring and root doctors, she was fearful. So she came to him. She told him, and he and I went to the car. And there are these little bags of, I guess, buzzard bones. And you come get some of these buzzards here, buzzards. And all these things were under the seat. I'll never forget what he said. Sister, you believe that that can do something to you? You believe that someone, that stupidity? He said, I'll tell you what I do it here. He stomped on it and threw it. Nothing happened to us. We went in the house and ate. This is what we have. Many of us, some of us, I put it that way, grew up in that kind of environment. That the man that they were buying it from, he was the one always with the money. He was making the money. This is no different than the biddings of the word, the sorcery, these necromancers that are forecasting. Come here, come here. You, God said if you give $10, $100, no, you get 10,000, he's going to bless you beyond your wildest dream. Now, what is my wildest dream? This is conjuring of hell. And they are excellent at it because they play here. We're always looking for something that we lust for. And that's how they do it. Now just give to Yah here, and you will be enriched with knowledge and the blessings of Yah. You don't need an airplane. The way these 737s are crashing, you don't want. I'm not getting in one. I know that's right. I take my chance on the highway. Doing 60, 65, and I hit 72. And I just sit back, put the cruise on. I like the cruise control. When I drive that truck, I stomp that cruise down, rest my foots up and my legs. I got to get the cruise controls and that old thing working. I hate not having that. I love cruise control. I drive in the city with that thing. I do. Boy, take that. But if there's any kind of stretch to it, I put cruise control on. I don't use the gas. I don't. I just let it cruise. I get on the highway, cruise. Put it on there, and I cruise. I let it do the talk. You save gas? Yes, you do. He says, all that hate me, so they whisper together against me. What? They devise my hurt. That's the sons of the serpent. Yes. If you know I'm wrong, listen, devils. If someone is intriguing you so badly, and you whisper to others that she's doing you wrong, or she's doing you wrong, or she, then don't you know what you're doing? Don't you know the evilness of your ways? Don't you know the serpent spiritual? I don't care if his wife or his husband. It makes no difference. You don't have to tell me about this one and that, but I know, I can see. Yes. I don't need to whisper about no one. Yeah. I don't have to, and I don't. Yeah. I'll address you right in here. You know who you is. Yes. You don't get by. Yeah. You may think you is, but you don't get by. I know your hypocrisy. You can pretend all you want to, but you don't get by. True. Not one damn bit. Yeah. You can pretend, but your pretending is going to cause the gates of hell to close upon you. And that's just a fact. Keep on playing with you. Yes. Keep You know there's a process that your heart is being hardened against you, because it doesn't bring about repentance. This brings repentance in me. Get my mind right. Yeah, start here. Yeah. Start here. Yeah. And that's a fact, my friend. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Whisper. It is one thing we must understand, nation. That's found in Tehillim 41. Read. You'll find much in the 41st chapter. You'll find it. You'll know. Hallelujah. 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 There's so much. I want to deal with this for a moment. Let me go quickly to Isaiah, Yeshaya, quickly. This is what the effects of idolatrous identity, when one deals with I doubt. It is a spirit that has caused one of the most violent serpentine spirits. We can see that on last week with the serpents, that Moshe, that the people were muttering and murmuring and complaining, and God sent forth the serpents among them. And until they identify the brazen, and they were built out of brass, because brass represents a filthiness and a drudge, and one that is so vile, so unclean. And when they looked upon that, they say, that's me. I'm a serpent out of the gates of hell. That's me. I'm nasty. I'm dirty. I'm wicked. You're not going to say that about me. We pontificate with me. Yes. And it's evil as hell. Yes. This is what the prophet says to us, to warn us. Isaiah, just listen. He said, and I will wait upon Yah that hides his face from Beit Yaakov. This is what the prophet is speaking. This is what Yah has uttered to him. He said, I will look for him. What was he looking for? He said, I know the promises of Yah, and we long for all to be fulfilled. He said, I will look for him. Who is the him? He said, I will look for Yeshua. I will look for the promise of Yah in Yeshua. He has hidden his face from the house of Jacob, so I look for him. I will look for him. He says, behold or see, I am the children of Yah. That Yah, I, just me now, Yah has given me. He said, these are the children Yah has knocked up. He has put them under his covenant by the discipline and the guidance of this Novi, this prophet. That's what Yeshaya said. He said, for us, what shall we be? We shall be an uth, a sign, and an uth is a distinguished mark. Not just any kind of silly mark. You're not like everyone else. He said, for a token, a distinguished mark, and for a wonder or a morphe. That's right. For a morphe. That we are the token. We are that which is the example or the token granted of the things that shall be, even at that time. And that's what we are now. That's what morphe is. We are the token for what to be. World signs and wonders. And these damn hypocrites are not working no signs and wonders. That's a fact. They're not healing anyone. He said, where in YisraYah'ale, from Yah of hosts, which dwell in Mount Zion. Then he says, and when they shall say to you, this is what they said, well, don't worry about that. I know he said that. It's one of the first things my mother said to me when Yah began to deal with me as a young 15-year-old lad. She said, quote, I'll never forget these words, God knows you're young. You get out of this house and go. I would read the Torah and study it back then. And I'm not boasting, but I had a clear understanding. I didn't have wisdom of it, but I could understand what I was reading. I could understand things. I didn't see things like I had heard from the Baptist whorehouse as a child. But I could see things. I could understand that. I understood those kinds of things. He says, and when they shall say to you, that's what my mother said, get out of here, boy. God knows you're young. go out and have some fun. My mother told me to hell with that. I was not a disruptive student. I would not say I was a smart student because I'm not smart. But I was a very active participant student. I would have graduated the year of my senior year, half year. I had the credits. The teachers liked me. You know why they liked me? Can I tell you why they liked me? Because I volunteered for every assignment. Who will do the assignment on this tonight and bring us a report? I knew that was great reports there. I knew I could get great reports, whether I failed or not. So if I failed the test, well, it's close enough for him, but who want to get up and give a dissertation? Oh, come on then. We all get nervous. And all the students looking at me like I'm a dummy. But I could impress enough. And my teachers liked me. They did. And all of a sudden, school was no interest in me at all. I had looked at colleges to go to. There were quite a few colleges, Catawba, Gardner, quite a few colleges in that day. Go to a historical black school. I had it all planned out because my mother go to school, get a good education, get a good job. I've never had an excellent job in all my life, but one. I was getting out there in the cornfields, and I'm looking this morning what kind of things we need to make sure those corn borers don't bore our corn this year. That's not going to happen. I got it all laid out. He said, when they say to you, seek to them that have oba, those that have familiar spirits, those that crowd and evoke the dead. You see, I don't want to evoke the dead. Understand what I'm saying? I was a man dead in the trespasses of my sin. I don't want to think of those ways, but boy, I had a great time. Man, this show was fun. Oh, man. The sweetness, man, get out of here. Young and tender and sweet. I'm talking about. I don't want to invoke those days. I don't. I don't think on that. Yeah. And so, boy, what's up, baby? What? Man, you remember the time we were doing it? No, I don't remember that. I don't want to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. They said, seek us this over spirits, and I also want the YHWH. I want to understand the spirit of whispers or wizards. And that's what when one trick you with wizardry, YHWH, they have whispered in your ear, and they have convinced you with lies and corrupt. That is a trial of the son of a serpent. And that's a fact. When we don't have the discernment to understand, and they overwhelm us with emotion and lies, and they're always lying about someone else. They never tell you that they're liars, they're corrupt. I do things wrong, I do my wife wrong, I do my husband wrong, I don't know how to deal with my children, I don't know how to deal with my grandbaby, I don't know how to deal with my step baby. They don't tell you stuff like that because they're full of their lying, evil ways. So they have called, they know you're dead in sin. I was once dead in the trespasses of sin. And so they know you're in sin. So they use this YHWH. They use the spirit of YHWH. They conjure. And also the sofafa. He says, and that peep. They peep. They're always looking. And they pretend that. As my grandmother would say, boy, as I slap your face, you sneaky devil. What they call, I don't know if you. Okay, got a witness back there. We'll call you a sneaky little devil. Always trying to listen to somebody. Boy, I slap you face in the face. That means I will knock your face off. There's a sense of wisdom about them, although they could not express things the way I do today. They didn't have the volume of information like I do. You understand? They've been kept from them. But they learned how to read. They could read. They didn't understand the function of words. A lot of them. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And this is what this Safaf is. Safaf is one that loves to chatter. You find someone, every time you embrace them, they love to chatter. They love to chatter. They always can tell you about this, someone else, some others, and they whisper. And they want to get you in a conclave. That's the son, the daughter of the serpent.
Yes.
And that's the same action of Hashatan with Hava.
Yes.
To separate you, and you listen to no one but me, them, that one. It is a conjuring spirit of hell.
Yes.
It is a violent spirit. Turn that off. Right? Turn it off. That's all right. It's a violent spirit of hell. Yes. It's not right.
True.
And they conjure by wizardry. You don't need. These are serpents of hell.
Yes.
They don't look like a devil, but they look worse than a devil. Yes. And that's a fact.
Yeah.
He says, and not only those that love to chatter, and they love to talk, and they love to chat, and they love to talk, and they do all the talking, and they love to talk all the damn time. You better watch out for that devil.
Yes.
He says, and they are ones that are haga, they are murderers. They love to mutter. They love to mutter. They love to devise a plot in you to plot against him, her, and they, and them. That's what they do. Yes. That's what they do. That's a child. That's a son of the serpent.
Yes.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I don't care. He may look like you. She may act like you. But that doesn't mean that one is walking in a line with Torah nation. And that's a fact. We're looking for some kind of reptilian, some kind of strange thing. That will kill a rattlesnake.
Yes.
Or I may run from it, get me something of defense. I'm not going to stomp on those snakes like that head. But I got something that will take his head off. Get me a hoe or get me a shovel. I got you, baby. I don't care if he's that big around. I will get him.
Yes.
I don't need that far to be away from him. That's right, give me 6 foot. I don't need that far, because I'm going to walk up on you. I am. And I'm going to take your head off, snake. That's a fact.
Yes.
And so it's best for you to go on. You don't want to deal with me. He says, these are those that are chagha, they devise plot. Should not a people seek Yah, their sovereign master, who asks the dead about the living? Why would you go to someone, or why we as a nation do request of those that are dead and in the trespasses of sin to give you life? Those who light, there is no light that shines from them. Yes. What light? The ma'or of his judgment, the ma'or of his kindness, the light of his counsel. Why? Why? The seven rechem of Yah. Yes. And anyone that speaks in terms that are natural and that are just corrupt, fleshly, you know damn well that's the devil. Yes. Yeah, I fuss, but I fuss about things that will bring light to us.
Hallelujah.
Bring us in line with truth, and that will preach to us and talk to us and speak to us. I don't have nothing to you all. I would tell brother, boy, I was studying this. I said, well, and I began to explain. I said, I'll teach it. Don't worry about it. I got it. My friend and I was talking. I said, that's going to be an excellent teaching. I'm going to teach how to know and pinpoint precisely the Moedim of Yah. Have everything laid out up here. We're going to do that in Tabernacle. So everyone, you that listen that do not know, you'll know. And I will identify words that you will know. It's crazy when we don't identify words and understand their meanings. Something is lacking in our minds. You don't know everything. I don't want to know everything. And what I don't know, I know there are resources that will help me to understand everything. Yes. We need help. Especially who? You. You need help. Yes. No, you think it's me, but no, you need help. Man. Hallelujah. That's right. Hallelujah. I want to deal with this before I close. At least I get to page 4. I want to deal with this generation of serpents and the crime of these serpents. And I don't know, this is so wonderful. I may come back. Keep me on the spot. Make me come back. All right. I know you will. Hallelujah. We got so much to do. The feast days are coming. I'm looking to cook here on Wednesday, and I'll have it right. Make it right. All right. Look what YHWH says. Is there a generation? In order to have a generation, must have a succession. It must be a succession, a birth from that generation, right? So if I start a generation, I must have sons and daughters in order to there be a succession after me. This is what YHWH says. I just read from Isaiah 8. Read that, all right? Isaiah 8, the whole chapter. You got a lot to study. Yes. All right? But let me read what YHWH says in Matthew. 2 scriptures and I'm going to stop. This is what YHWH says in Matthew. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Put an indicator there. Many times I say, even where did I stop? She holds the youngers and all of that, so she used to be telling me that every scripture, everything. Look what it says in Matthew. I will read it. Then I'll tell you what it's standing for. Those that were verbose in their knowledge, they were pristine as they knew everything, and they had no sin, but they were violent. And they were the most evil ones, the ones that were in charge of government, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and their implementation of Torah law. YHWH says this to them. He calls them an office. He says, you serpents. That's what he called them. Yes. So that ain't not no snake. Yes. He says, your cunning and your wisdom is so twisted. It is, for one thing, it's to deceive. And let me tell all of you all that. When you say things that you know you're cunning someone, and they're going to believe you just because of who you are a damn devil. Yes. You're not even a devil. You're a wicked dog from hell. Yes. I don't care if it's your mammy. I don't care if it's you. I don't care if it's your grandmammy. I'm just being straight. You know you're lying. Yes. He says to them, you authors, you serpent. You are a people that you twist, you con, you're slick. He called them serpents. Yes. In my days, the women would say, he never no snake. You're old enough to remember that, all right? Okay, let me see that. He never no snake. They will always identify the man as a snake. I've never heard them identify the woman as a snake. But he ain't nothing but a snake. Slithering, hissing, and always whispering to someone. They knew he was a dirty devil and a dirty dog. Listen. He said, you serpents, you generation of XXXIX, your generation of nothing but vipers. You're the offspring of vipers. That's what XXXIX means. You have been birthed by a viper, and you have prolonged the generation by that same viper's mentality, that same viper's spirit. You're wicked men. You're malignant. You're cunning. You're liars. You're thief. He called them a generation of vipers. I want to tell you all something. He said, how can you escape the crisis, the condemnation, the damnation, the hell, the sentence to condemnation? You've already been sentenced. You've been tried. How can you escape the damnation of hell? You can't escape. That's why I want us all, when you hear the truth, when truth judge you, repent and get your heart right, and don't do it again. Don't do it again. If I stole from here yesterday, if I stole some of the money, I won't steal today. I'm not going to steal money. Yes. How do you escape? You generation of serpents? Yes. Did that mean a damn snake crawling out there? This is how ignorant we is. We have the spirit of a snake.
Yes.
It's not right, nation. It's evil, it's sadistic, and it's violent against Yah. He called us. How do you think you're going to escape hell? You can talk all you want to. Oh, I love the Lord. Yeah, I know you do. You can't tell me I don't love Yah. I can. Because I know an apple tree from a plum tree.
Yes.
I know you don't love him. I want to close with this one. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Two. Let me close with this. That was found in Matthew 23. It's in the 23rd chapter. You'll find it. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Let me close from this last verse here. He calls us of this generation. He calls us, first of all, the office of serpents. YHWHSHUA in Matthew 23:23. And then he called us a generation of vipers. That's what he called us. A generation of vipers. You are cunning, wicked men. You have offspring that are wicked. Just like the mama shows the daughter, and like the grandmammy shows the great-great-great-grandyoung, and like the pappy shows the son and the great-grandson. That's what he was saying. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And this is what the enemy does, one thing. That is why this cunningness of this whispering, the sons of the serpent, is there for one thing. I'll read what YHWH says in Corinthians. Second, I'll tell you where I finished from. And I'm going to finish right here. 2 Corinthians chapter 11. Read the entire chapter. You'll find that this verse quickly. YHWH says, our minds have been so corrupt from the beauty and the simplicity of truth. Listen, if y'all can take an ignorant jackass like me, in his house he placed me there. I am not a wise, smart man. I just believe what I read. It is not that complicated to believe it. You go unlock the door, there's a key, isn't it?
Yes.
It's not hard to lock it back.
Right.
You go in your home, you're familiar with everything, are you not?
Yes.
Sure you are. You may not confide that, but you know, I know what, I put it over there. That's it. But listen to what YHWH says here. He says, but I fear. This is my fear. Lest by any means, as the serpent. Well, we are identified because we are smart. We know everything. We have understood the Torah in a way like no one else. You're the only one that understands it right. Nobody else. You don't even live it right.
Yes, sir.
He said, but I feel this by any means, as the office, as the serpent, beguiled, as he used this cunning craftiness to deceive Chava through his subtlety. Through his subtlety. What is subtlety? Through his false wisdom. And one just talk, idle words. You know that's false wisdom. That's what subtlety is. It's wisdom that has no meaning, has no application. It's folly. And they're slick with it. They play on emotion, feelings, association, identity, identify. That's what they play on.
Yes.
You know, a sister called me. I may call her. An actress. And she says to me, Rayog, she says, Pastor Roberts, she identified herself. She said, I don't know what you've heard about me. Well, I don't give a damn. I'm not trying to find anything about you. And I intended to call her. I'm going to call her. See, they call me when they're hurting so bad. They don't have no one else. I will call her. One right down the street called me and said, Ema, I'll call her today. Not right down the street, but down the road, the highway. I don't know what you've heard about me. I would tell her I don't inquire of you. So I don't know anything about you. No more than you know about me. So what difference does it make? She told me where she was. But I just wanted to talk to you. I just wanted to just talk to you. Yeah, I just wanted to talk to you. Why do you think she would call like that? You know why? You all don't know. Because she knew I was an honest man as a child. She knew that. All of them know that. All of them. There was one here that lived here on last Sunday. I don't play. And my words are not selective. I'm brazen and bold. I've been listening to you. I said, you haven't been listening to me. That's a fact. See, that's honesty. That's love. See, if I let one talk like that, they just talk. I said, you haven't been listening to me. There's no way I listen to a man like this. I don't go see him. I'll set minimum offering because I just like the way they brought that thing up, dealing with the sins of a nation. He says, just like how shalt thou the serpent beguile his cunning crafty ways Eve through his subtlety, his false wisdom. Look, he says, so you're mine. See what he's dealing with? See where the doctrine of the sons of serpents comes? Right here. So you're Levi, so you're mine. 2 Corinthians chapter 11. So you're mine. So your mind shall be mirama, corrupt with every kind of damnable, twisted thing, corrupt from the haplaptes, the simplicity. What is the simplicity? It is the bountifulness of the sincerity of YHWH, from the simple mental honesty. I got that word down. I want to read the meanings of that. Haplaptes. It is the bountifulness, sincerity, and above all that, you know what it is? It is the mental honesty. You got to be right here. That is what the words haplaptes. You got to have mental honesty. Our minds are corrupted so bad that we can't think on the honest things of Yahweh. Whatsoever things that are pure, whatsoever things are honest. We can't even think on those things. Something is wrong with us. Hallelujah. That is the seed of the serpent son doctrine. Yes. He says through the simplicity, where can I find it? That is in YHWH HaMashiach. You're not going to find it in other place but in here. That's simplicity. Be the riches of Yahweh upon you all. I have poured out the labor of his heart, YHWH. I've done this or taught this in all honesty, sincerity. I have not tried to adjudicate any false thing among us today, but truth. So we do berach you all nations that have joined us. You that may listen to this in some other time. We do pray that these blessings of his truth resonate in your bosom, that you may grow strong by it. Above all things this day from, let us learn to care for each other, love each other, and be honest. I trust man. You do me wrong, you do me wrong. That will be to your own failure. Just do me right. That's what you're going to do with me. Just do right by me. Because you don't have to tell me to do right by me. I will do right by you. I will go out of my way for you. I will. But when you prove yourself to be a liar and a clown, you got an enemy here with me that will fight against you. I'm not talking about someone nafal or befalling. I'm talking about when there's a perpetual sense of that. You're lying, you're corrupt. As the old folks would say, he can't see no quarter the way they would see. They don't see no good in nobody. There's some good in everybody. And anytime you find people, I use that expression, that see nothing that is excellent, that's a damn dog. Even a dog will lick your hands. Even the baddest of dogs will become docile and say, hold on, something about him. I may not bite him. He looked like he's a big boy. He looked like he tastes nice, but I leave him alone. And so we become so violent like that. Something is wrong. I know what is wrong. You have the son of the serpent doctrine, the zera, the seed, and your fruit will be expressed this way. I'm going to finish this because it's a very dynamic teaching. I will do a third part. I don't know when, so don't hold me to that, because there are so many things from YHWHSHUA in the book of Revelation. I want to teach we in this year of 2019 that every Hebrew Israelite, they have been saying the prophecy of 2000 fell. I remember those lies and how they were waiting for spaceships. You are a stupid jackass. How do you know you're getting in a spaceship? Could be a demon ship. Now, I'm saying that not in the sense of physical spaceship. You never heard folks say, man, he's spaced out. We are spaced out in our ignorance, our stupidity, our dumbness. We are spaced out. Man, he was spaced. You heard what he said? He was talking some crazy talk, man. That talk there, man. I ain't never heard no talk like that, baby. He was just saying, that's some crazy talk, man. I've heard it. And so the prophecy in 2000, it fell. And all of the religious leaders' prophecy, the computer is going to just, everything is going to stop working. I didn't pray one damn thing for no computer. I got up that next morning, clicked my zone, it worked. Okay. And then they got to backtrack. These are liars. The truth prepares you for one thing. Can I tell you? It prepares you for one thing. For this day. That's why we must be renewed every day. That's why we must speak to each other in that fashion. You go somewhere in the old days dressing properly, old mother say, oh baby, come here. Give me a pen. Baby, you, hold on. And they didn't even know a Yah or a God. The girl put that dress you got on too short. Now get girl, come here. Jenny Bell, go in the house and see if you got something. Put up something. I just said, put on something. Put on something. Girl, where do you get that? Where do you get that from? And that's how we have to do it.
Yes.
You're wrong. You're wrong. We must get this thing right. And it begins here. Son of the serpent. So now you can understand little. All right? I labor for us, nation. I labor. So if I have labored for you to have a wonderful meal today, send your offerings, your tithes. Don't let these devils, send them here. And you will see the splendid things they will do. Don't tell me you don't have nothing. You are a flat out wicked liar. That's a lie. You have become an extortioner. Well, you want money so you can live fat. Well, come visit me. You see how fat I live. And I live extremely fat. I live well. I'm a big man. I'm a fat man. You can see that. I have no problem. But I live well. I live well. Paid $1,500 for my house. Add some pieces on there. $700 to build that part. $800 for that part. And about $1,000. So I live extremely well. I can lay down tonight and it'll be cold here, but I can start me a fire. I asked for some logs, but those trees you all put out there for me. Okay, I'm not going to use all them, but I'll use them. And I can stay warm. I will leave from here and have a wonderful meal today. I will go home, prepare for Pesach. We'll begin the celebration Thursday evening. We'll have a wonderful time. And believe me, this is not by some meal, so don't write me, which you don't do that, or call me asking what you should eat. This is crazy. It's not about you having lamb's meat. Send the money here. Don't buy lamb's meat. It's not about the meal. This is greater than that. We're going to touch on that during the time of this season, all right? It is so insane. Not about some wine. It's not about some, what we call some communion. That's insane. It's crazy. Send the money here. Yeah, I said that money. It's a stingy, greedy, ignorant generation. And there are folks, quite a few, they said they listen. And they know they will be enormously blessed because you haven't heard it so simple. Nobody's taught you that. No. Or you think you what? No, that's not what I'm saying. I always tell you haven't heard it because it is just too clean, too simple. Yeah. So it can't be no falsehood or profiteering in there that I'm doing something for my gain. Can't be that. It's too simple. It's too easy. See, you want people that make things complex. Well, in 60 AD, 70 AD, the Roman Empire, you want that kind of bogus bull. Yes. You want to hear that. And you think that makes you smart. If nothing else, you remember 60 AD. Well, the Roman Empire, you know what they did. You don't even know. And these cowardly men will say, well, study for yourself. That is so cowardly. The professor doesn't tell you to study for yourself. He teaches you the parameter of studying. And that's what I did today. Hallelujah. That's what they do. My teacher never told me to go study for yourself and learn. They taught me the parameter, the context within the framework I work in. That's what I did today. Yes. Hallelujah. You studied that. Yes. You never studied anything outside what the teacher taught you. These are fools today. That's right. Fool, right? I wish not wish, but I desire the old foolish woman that always posts. And you notice I don't take your post down because what you say doesn't affect me. You're listening to me. I wouldn't even listen to Jezebel like that. And if she called herself teaching someone, then her husband got to be a weak man to put out there. And you think I let a woman like that repudiate me, a silly old woman, earrings down to her buttocks and all of that? She will go to hell. Fool. Maybe she was listening. Maybe she's listening. Hallelujah. You'll get to hear Zakeh bit of me this week, all right? How about that? So coming back on doing the 30 feast days, all right? Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's right. I don't care if they don't like me. I don't like me. I don't like me a lot. And that's a fact. And if you say you haven't liked you, then something is wrong if you haven't liked you. You've been dirty and evil and stinking, corrupt. Truth, yes. So send a gift and offering here today, everyone. May Yah brought you all. Come on, YisraYah'ale. Mind, someone check the greenhouse first thing. I know it's cloudy, but that thing may be 100 degrees in it. It's only the door. We're going to send it like. Let us turn toward Jerusalem. In all things we barak araba for your excellence, for your truth, for your healing power, your mufid. Yours your sign that we are your nation, your children. Yes, yeah. That our hearts be in check. Yes. And our hearts being purged this night. We need you, God. Yes. We pray for our Zakein. Zakein Tamasya. We pray with them and precious Zakein that sits here, yes. Pray for every daughter, son, every wife, every husband, every home, your nation scattered abroad. Those that join us, we pray for their home, Yah, that they would hear and be obedient unto your counsel. Bless us all as we examine our minds and our hearts as we prepare for this great time of remembrance. And his body, it's not about just breaking some bread, but it's more important than that. Bless us all. Bless the nations scattered abroad. Heal us, those that need healing. Above all men, I need your healing. We ask in Yahshua's name and protect us, our babies, each one of them. In the blessed name of Yahshua HaMashiach, your great assurance. We pray in that only name. This is our cry to you. Yes. And with the abundance and the bountifulness of your riches we cry, hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
I cast all my cares upon Yahweh. I lay all of my burdens down at Yah's feet, and in His time I don't know what to do. I will cast all my cares upon Yahweh. Well, let's cast our cares. I cast all my cares upon Yahweh. I lay all of my burdens down at Yah's feet. Any time I don't know what to do, I will cast all my cares upon Yahweh. I cast my fears upon Yahweh. I cast all of my fears upon Yahweh. I lay all of my burdens down at Yah's feet, and any time I don't know what to do, I will cast all my tears upon Yahweh. I cast my tears upon Yahweh. I cast all my tears upon Yahweh. I lay all of my burdens down at Yah's feet, and any time I don't know what to do, I will cast all my tears upon Yahweh. I cast my pain upon Yahweh. Come on. I do cast all my pain upon Yahweh. I lay all of my burdens down at Yah's feet, and any time I don't know what to do, I will cast all my pain upon Yahweh. We cast our cares upon Yahweh. I cast all my cares upon Yahweh. I lay all of my burdens down at Yah's feet, and any time I don't know what to do, I will cast all my cares upon Yahweh. Hallelujah. 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 Thank you, Abba. Hallelujah. One thing have I desired of Yahweh, and that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of Yahweh all the days of my life. of Yahweh to inquire in his tabernacle. One thing have I desired of Yahweh, and that will I seek after. I have fainted unless I had believed to see the love of Yahweh in the land of the living. The God of Yahweh. Wait on Yahweh.
Oh, yes. Come on.
Be of courage, and he shall strengthen thy heart. Wait, I say, on Yahweh. One thing have I desired of Yahweh, and that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of Yahweh all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of Yahweh, to inquire in his tabernacle. One thing have I desired of Yahweh, and that will I seek after. I have fainted unless I had believed to see the God of Yahweh in the land of the living, the tongue of Yahweh. Wait on Yahweh. Be of courage, and he shall strengthen thy heart. Wait, I say, on Yahweh. Come on, let's wait on Yahweh. Wait on Yahweh. Be of